guys.
Episode 1. Finally got it to happen.
Thanks for that lemonade.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with this little light situation we got going on.
I know. I
Personally.
feel like it's very
We're glowing.
unique.
Yeah, we're glowing.
Mm-hmm.
I say we are. So,
Alright.
this is episode 1 of The Podcast. The Podcast stands for Tommy, Eden,
Wait,
Havana.
That isn't the
Not in
wrong
that order.
order.
Not in that order.
Okay.
Tommy, Havana, Eden. It all works. Though.
Introduce
I'm
yourself.
I'm Tommy.
I'm Havana.
I'm Eden. Alright.
We got a
So,
really special episode cooked up.
I can't
think
believe
we're
we
gonna
made
like
it here.
I mean,
Like,
second semester
oh,
just-
man.
almost done.
just got absolutely
flew by.
annihilated by the chem midterm this week.
Yeah.
Last midterm, then we
Someone
got finals.
stole an exam, which is crazy.
Oh yeah,
I heard about this.
the cheating scandal.
And then somebody on side chat like photoshopped something. So
Yes.
yeah,
What
and
if
it's
we
like
have to
saying that we have
retake
to
the exam?
retake the exam. I actually like was
Remember
about to
during
shed a
dinner?
tear.
I hope
was,
you guys
like,
actually
tweaking.
have to retake it.
Oh,
I think that would be
hell no.
hilarious.
During
I think
reading
that'd be
week,
so
that was
good.
crazy. But
I
yeah.
did
Yeah.
so good. It's the first time I felt good on a
Aw,
chem test.
Vanna, yay.
Let's
I
go.
feel that.
But yeah, there was a lot of cheating going on, and it wasn't even worth.
Which is so embarrassing
even
for them
worth
because
it.
why
I heard
would you
it was
take
$3.99.
one?
Yeah,
test?
it was not that hard.
Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing to cheat on that easy in an
I
exam.
know.
Like,
And
all you
she
have to do is
wasn't
study.
even slick.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many different ways she could have gone about
Yeah.
that.
But-
whatever.
I feel like these days all we're doing is just hitting the books, man.
I
Yeah.
Just
know.
hitting the books. I live in Brody these days.
I know. I need to go outside more. Like it's become a
Hey,
problem.
we gotta touch
Like,
grass, right?
Touch the
Gotta
grass.
touch
Yes,
the grass.
yeah.
No, honestly, we get so sucked up in just the grind and all the stress
Grind.
that we have. But you look outside and you see the Hopkins squirrels just minding their business, and then
jealous.
you know
Dude, I
the
see
flowers
foxes.
just
There's so
flowering.
there's so many
I've
foxes.
seen one.
I think
fox.
it's just one.
Oh, I see the same fox every single night.
I saw
It
it
runs
near
from
mud.
AMR 3 to AMR 1.
Yeah,
It cuts through.
and then
Same
it goes
exact fox.
past, and it goes past Brody too. But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have exams to stress about. It's just vibing. But I think we
It's
need
just
that.
vibing, man.
Gotta
Gotta find a way to disconnect, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and I feel like there's enough meh. I feel like there's a good amount of study spots on campus that are outside.
I
But
was
sometimes I
hammocking.
feel like sometimes I feel like there's not enough.
Honestly, compared to
Yeah.
other schools,
Oh
I think
yeah,
we're
no,
pretty
that's so
fortunate.
I'm
true.
pretty
We are
good.
really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the beach studying. It's
You
70
study on the beach.
I get too distracted.
78
How do
I
you
get
degrees.
too
do
You know,
that?
you have a speaker, you have some Morgan Wallen going.
You
little
talk the whole time. What are you talking
And
about?
There's
no,
no way
you-
that you get.
I literally studied with him, and he does not study.
no. You
I
probably
studied,
had your
I
mouth
studied.
and
Try
That's
that
So
ridiculous.
eat it. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got on the topic of today's podcast.
We're diving into
Nature.
nature today.
Nature, the importance, significance of nature, talking about current events. And so that's leading into our special guest, the #1 Hopkins celebrity for the freshman 2026 class.
Mhm.
Leo Anderson, everyone. On his way in right now. He's got an intro song. Thought you guys might enjoy this intro song.
What up, everybody?
Hi, Leo.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Say what's up to the pod.
What's up, everybody? How are we doing?
Tell us about your intro song.
This song was created for me. I love the song very dearly.
Very dearly.
I just love it.
So who's it by? What's the
I
intro?
love Lil Baby. I
Little
mean,
baby.
Lil Baby's my favorite artist.
Hot take.
I don't know why you dislike him.
Lil Baby came to Connecticut and everyone lost their minds.
Exactly.
Sophomore year,
Yeah.
everyone actually lost it. It was
That's crazy.
unbelievable.
But yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah,
What's your major, stuff like that.
Yeah. Give us the elevator pitch.
So my name's Leo Anderson. I'm a freshman here, psych major, actually philosophy minor. I was a former baseball player. Then I changed to football. Didn't work out, unfortunately.
Really? I
Oh,
thought you
I
still
didn't know
were.
that. Yeah.
No, yeah, it was the fall, and it was just things didn't go as well as I wanted it to go, and just switched to football. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Wait, no, I thought football.
I thought you said football
didn't
didn't work out.
Oh no, baseball didn't work out.
Oh, but you're
no,
on the
but you're
football team.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy. Yeah, we got 2 athletes, Mr. Baseball,
Yep.
and Mr.
And also, if you look at
Football.
Mr. Leo over here, bro is built to be a football player.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Kid is
Thomas.
6'1", pure muscle. Bro.
Thank you. Don't gas me up too much.
No, I'm gonna gas you up. Bro.
Chill,
I'm
chill.
gonna gas you up.
But yeah, I'm excited to be here today. Think about my perspectives with these very wonderful people. Yeah.
Let's get
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
it.
we're
man.
really excited to hear your perspectives
Wonderful.
because I feel like your majors and minors kind of align with this, and we're
Right.
really excited
You
to
can
hear
give some
what you
good
have to say.
insight as
Yeah.
representative of the Hopkins freshman student body.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah, if we were talking earlier about nature and like how it's good to like get connected with it even in the midst of like the stress of exams and finals and stuff. But like I guess we wanted to talk more about like your relationship now like at Hopkins with nature and then going back to like comparing it to your relationship with it as a child. Like
Wow.
yeah.
Deep.
So it's deep, but like let's break it down a little bit. Let's just start with as a child, you know, like what'd you do outside, you know? How was your relationship with nature? Like when you were
Like,
like
where'd
in
you
your
grow up
childhood.
and-
Yeah.
So I grew up in the city of Chicago.
Ooh.
Not much nature there. Just a
Yeah.
lot of urban area.
Like deep in Chicago, like because you know some people say like Chicago and they're like 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
facts.
Eden does this to me all the time. She's like, "Are you actually from Annapolis?"
Like-
Like, yes.
Bears from
Yeah,
Chicago.
he's not from Chicago. He's from the
Chicago.
suburbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from like you know where Evanston is near Northwestern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm from around there. It's very like urban. So
Mhm.
I mean, the way I interacted with nature was just through sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like as I gotten older, like, I've gotten more in touch with my emotions. You know what I mean? And you guys know what like Taoism is? It's like a
I've heard of
philosophy.
it. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So, like-
explain it for
Can-
the-
yes.
explain for the
Taoism
podcast
is like
myself.
Eastern philosophy, basically, and it's this idea of just being out in nature and kind of having this idea of like letting everything flow. Like flow is like a big theme in Taoism, and I think that I've had that that theme carry on in my life. Letting things flow, letting things come and go, whether it's good or bad. Just having that perspective of ebbs and flows. You know what I mean?
That's really cool, man.
I don't know. As I've gotten older, I love to spend time outside, meditate.
Really?
You know.
Oh, nice.
Where do you go on Hopkins
Yeah,
campus?
where do you
In my room, mostly.
Oh, okay. So
Um,
you don't like. Have you ever like grounded outside or anything?
I've never know what is that. What is grounded?
Like-
It's like so like the grounding thing. I'm pretty sure is when you're like barefoot.
Yeah.
You
And
go
you, like,
outside.
feel the
you
nature.
connect
Never heard
with
of
it.
that.
Yeah.
My mom does it on
My
hikes.
mom
It's
does
so
it.
That's so
embarrassing.
deep.
She doesn't do it on hikes though. That's crazy.
Well, like, no,
What if she
we-
steps on a stone or something?
Well, no.
Yeah.
Like she stops, she finds a spot, and she's like, "Eden, I need a ground right now."
No,
And then-
you are
I
your
love
that.
mother's
I think
daughter.
that's so good.
No,
I
we
think
went
that's
to
so
like
good.
a resort in the middle of like it's like where all the hot springs are. I did this on winter break, and so it's like all nature. It's like Thomas Jefferson and like J.P. Morgan. They like built like this
God.
resort there,
Yeah.
and so they had like a tour, and I'm like with like a formal FBI agent. Like they're all these like very successful people, and we're like going on a hike together. It felt like it was straight out of a
That's
movie.
funny.
That's insane.
And then my mom was like, "I need a ground right now," and they're all like passing. It was like so.
That's really
No,
cool.
that's
though. I
awesome.
love your
That's
mom.
awesome.
So yeah, but
That's so cool.
I guess going back, that's really surprising. Like, I don't know. Do you look back on it like whenever do you hear more about your friends like connecting with nature? Do you ever wish like you had more of it when you were growing up?
Yeah, of course. Like I feel like we live in a very digital world today.
Mm.
I feel like everything's very, very stressful on our phones. Sometimes it's important to take a step back, detach a little bit, and spend time outside. Connect with, Mother Nature. I think that's important. Especially at this school, it's very tough academically,
Yeah.
athletically. As my boy Tommy knows, he's a great catcher. It's tough,
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. You're very zen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
I
has
love
that impacted you with nature this year? Like, have you seen a change between like last year being in high school and then like now coming here? How has that affected your like outside time? I guess.
Actually, I haven't. I mean, besides like practice, definitely less time spent outside.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you want to change that?
of course.
Yeah.
I think we all like set habits, set goals, but sometimes it just time gets the best of us. You know what I mean?
I feel like sometimes you just get like sucked into the books.
For sure,
stuff
yeah,
like
But
that
like
a lot,
now with
man.
the sun and everything, you don't like. I see you playing spike ball. all
Oh
the
yeah, I'm
time.
out there with my
I
shirt
see.
off.
I see.
Yeah.
that
I can't
shirt off
help
on the
it.
beach,
I can't help
grind a
it.
little spike ball. I love
Okay,
it.
sometimes you need
I
vitamin D though. Like
Yeah,
You got
exactly.
vitamin
But
D.
like, I don't know. Sometimes I study, or I just got like a hammock. It came in from Amazon
That's so
today.
cool.
So
So cool.
honestly, you guys should try hammocking. Like
Can we?
like as soon
Let's
as
do
the
it.
weather
I see
goes
people
above
out there
70
looking
degrees.
little cocoons.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's
as
like
soon as it
wrapping
goes
them in a
above
big book.
70,
I'm like, dude, come
they're
on,
all
that's the
like
life.
stacking and
That's
everything
actually
like
the
that.
life.
Yeah.
But
But going back to like one of the earlier points, we were talking about how like we live in a digital world. I kind of feel like we were one of the last generations to have like toys and like to like live in the world.
Be creative outside and play outside.
We were like, I want to say it was like 5th grade when we started getting like iPod touches. That kind of thing. And I remember I got so sucked into my iPod touch. And I'm like so grateful that I had like from all the way up until 5th grade to like play with like my toy dinosaurs, go outside, like actually touch grass. I feel like a lot of the kids, you see like the iPad kids these days.
Facts. No, I feel like
now I'm an iPad kid now.
You are an iPad kid.
I will fully admit it, but like
I'm an iPad kid too.
You see the kid. I don't know. I feel like that's just kind of the direction.
And now we're like always watching YouTube, like going to bed, eating
TikTok,
meals.
scrolling.
What do you guys think about like socially? I feel like people are just so socially capable like behind a screen, but when you see them in person, it's like,
100%.
Like I'll have people like comment on Instagram, like people from this school, like, "Oh my God, your lifting's incredible," and like they
then
start,
when you see them in person, they're like this.
"Oh God, like what is this?" Like,
I think it's just people not going outside as much, not interacting with people as much. They just prefer being behind a phone.
And I completely agree with that. And I think me and Eden had a similar experience. Like growing up outside, like we had like lots of neighbors we were close with and running around. I learned so many social skills from that. Like how to like deal with conflict. The amount of like little arguments I would get with people. They were literally like my siblings. Like I can't tell you like how many lessons I learned just like playing outside and being in nature and learning from them.
But like we didn't get that experience like our parents did. We had that growing up, but that still carries on into like middle school and high school, and I feel like that's when we stopped learning how to like interact. And I think the social media has like hindered our ability to like socialize. So
no, like I don't know, I'm like been in psychology and everything, like I'll go up to people like
I know
just like randomly and just like start up conversations.
That's so cool.
Like,
I
like people think it's weird and I'm like I'm creepy, but it's like
now, but I feel like that wasn't weird
50 years ago. You feel me? Like
you just start a conversation.
Yeah, that's all. I crave like deep conversations with people and deep interactions, and it's like it's
like
gone.
Meaningful.
Yeah, it's gone, and then like if you have that outlier effect where you're like you want to have that, you know, you're considered weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's facts.
Yeah.
It's very deep.
It's very deep. I think there's like a lot to be said about that. Though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot to be said.
But we gotta get back to nature, man.
Let's do it.
But
I think we're kind of on the nature.
Yeah.
A little bit, but we have certain segments prepared here, so we can just dive right in.
So we started with your childhood. We talked about early on, and then now we transitioned to like, you know, college and more recent events. So we wanted to kind of start talking about recent events that have happened that are significant for like nature and the environment, and kind of hinting, and not hinting, but like just throwing it in our faces how our relationship with nature has changed as a society. I think, which one do you want to start off with first?
I mean, we can start off with the private jet stuff.
Yeah, I think that ties in with the social kind of things that we were talking about earlier.
So just kind of to preface it, just to give everyone a background, basically what's going on is the rich and famous, right? The people who have resources, they have means to get a private jet, oftentimes overexploit this kind of travel, and that leads to a lot of unnecessary emissions, right? So there's a statistic, right? Average flight times for private flights came in at 71 minutes, and it was 66 miles per flight. So just looking at that statistic, it's kind of like that was an unnecessary flight, and for the amount of emissions that are being put in the air, it's like absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of go and you're like, why do these people feel so entitled to have their like emissions per person per year be so much higher than someone who can just drive a car?
They get detached. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but like Kylie Jenner, Taylor Swift, and like Travis Scott getting like slammed for like their 17-minute flights, and like.
I mean, it's justified though. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when Tommy was saying like mega rich, he means like celebrity rich,
right.
like those who have like tons of
like the billionaires.
Yes.
Like, I was reading, and it said that, you know, because Kylie Jenner, that was the one who got like the most hate for it, but she's 19th in the list for like most celebrity jet emissions. Like number 1 is like Taylor Swift, Floyd Mayweather, Kim Kardashian, stuff like that. Like basically
can we dive into Taylor too? Like
I mean, it says that Taylor's jet has an average flight time of just 80 minutes, an average of 139.6 miles per flight. Her total flight emissions for the year come in at 8,293.54 tons, or 1,184 times more than the average person's total annual emissions. Like, that's insane. And her shortest recorded flight was just 36 minutes. That's probably like an hour, 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I feel like they just get so detached from, like, normal society, like, normal means of living. Like, before people had to go by a horse and buggy and they had to walk and stuff like that, or bikes. And now they get the luxury of a expensive, like, carbon-spewing private jet.
And the thing is, it's also, like, it's not carrying that many people. So it's not like it's a commercial airliner with 84 people on it and it's actually, like, the emissions per person is, like, manageable. Now it's starting to be, like, 5 people, 6 people. Could easily be a car ride, and now the emissions per person is just skyrocketing.
Yeah. And I think it's crazy that Taylor tried to, like, make an excuse for herself, and she was like, oh, well, I loan my private plane to my friends sometimes.
Yeah.
Which
like,
doesn't help the case. It just shows more flights are happening that we don't even know of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, I wanted to see this quote and then let Leo put his take on it. This is a quote from Jason Hickel from Twitter, and it says, environmentalism without class struggle is using paper straws while the rich take 9-minute flights on their private jets.
Yeah.
So basically talking about, like, how, like, middle class, lower class societies, normal people are, like, having to, you know, change their lifestyles, feeling the impacts of, you know, environmental movements, but then, you know, these celebrities, privileged individuals are not getting any consequences for their actions.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, it's crazy. I think that when you're high status, I think everything is, I feel like you become this kind of, have these, like, narcissistic traits where you're so entitled to do things and you really just disregard everything else. You know, I think that's obviously, you know, terrible. I think we all need to, like, chime in and do our part regardless of status, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, I did this report I actually did an oral presentation on climate change, and it was like, you know, it's not one person, it's not 2 people, it's everybody. It doesn't matter, like, what status you are, you know what I mean? So, I mean, obviously it's terrible, and there's not much to say about that, but, you know, we all need to, like, do our part, you know, just despite, you know, high status, low status, middle class, like,
there's a moral responsibility.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And it's also not limited to just private jets.
Yeah.
I was doing research on the super yachts, and I came across this one guy. This is gonna blow your mind, but his name is Roman Abramovich, and his super yacht is equivalent per year to 4,500 gasoline cars. And that's 1 year, it's equivalent to 4,500 gasoline cars. And I think, like, that's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that is a super yacht. Like, that is one of the most unnecessary things ever.
Yeah,
and that's 4,500 cars. I thought this blew my mind.
Yeah. Who is this guy? Like, what does he do?
He's a billionaire. That's
just
that's what I know about him. He's a billionaire. Yeah.
Well, that's extremely concerning that there's people who are mega rich under the radar.
Yeah. Like, that's the point. They have so much money that they stay under the radar. But, like, you know, I understand celebrities wanting to be private, because I can't imagine Kylie Jenner going on, like, a business class, like, airline being, pummeled by people trying to take pictures. And so, like, I feel like, I don't know, we have to kind of establish a medium between those two, because I can't imagine her going through an airport regularly. Like, she kind of has to go private.
That actually would create problems for the airport itself, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like they kind of we need to stop, like, idolizing these people. Like, they're normal. They're normal humans. They need 3 meals a day. They need 6 glasses of water a day. Like, you know, they have stomach pains, they're lactose intolerant, like, they're normal people, and, like, they idolize them like gods. Like,
some of the videos I see of paparazzi getting in these guys' faces is unbelievable. Like, the second they roll down their window, the car is a camera flash of it.
Yeah.
Like, they're cool, but, like, it's not.
And they, like,
cool.
get under, like, girls' skirts and stuff like that, like Haley Baldwin and stuff like that. Yeah.
I love how you called her Haley Baldwin instead of Bieber.
Oh crap, Haley Bieber.
No, I like that. I don't like her anymore.
I don't. No one likes her.
Didn't they get divorced or something?
Huh? No, that's a rumor.
That's a rumor.
But speaking of Haley Bieber, I think it was really interesting how in the article they were talking about how shame can help to, like, you know, like shaming celebrities might be a good tactic to help them stop, like, over polluting or over, like, taking these flights like it's no big deal. And I think with, like, Hailey Bieber, we saw that shame is a powerful tactic. Yeah. And, like, lately in the media, like, she was shamed for, you know, just various reasons. Like, everyone thought she was, like, making fun of Selena Gomez, and she was, I mean, her revenue, like, crashed over the next few months. And, you know, that kind of, like, no matter whose side you were on, Hailey or Selena's in that situation, it just kind of shows that there is power to the people. And, like,
but
if
people
you can,
need to care about nature
I know,
and the environment
we need
as
to
much
fuel
as they care
that
about
tension.
Selena Gomez.
Right,
like,
we need to fuel that tension into
yeah.
like environmentalism or putting shame in this kind of situation, because it's been proven to be powerful.
Yeah. So I think we kind of just reviewed, like, the solutions. Like, we're not just blaming it on the celebrities. Like, there's action for both ends, the normal civilians and the celebrities and billionaires. Like, I think it's our part to, you know, use whatever voices we have, and honestly, we give them revenue, our support, every view, every, like, product of theirs that we buy and stuff like that, we support them. So I mean, just like for Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber, they stopped using her products, they stopped liking her posts, and they didn't follow her. So, like, if people care that much about the environment,
I know.
But then people don't, because now it's more of a, like we were talking about, it's like a digital age. iPad kids, like, my sister never goes outside, she's always on her iPad, and, like, I try to get her out there, but, like, it's also, you know,
they don't know what to do.
They don't know what to do outside.
They don't know how to play.
Yes.
That's what I found. They don't know how to play.
But, like, that's what I'm saying. They don't have the connection with nature. They don't respect it, and they didn't learn the lessons we did. So how would they be able to value it and care about it?
Wow, that is so concerning.
Yeah, it's very concerning.
I haven't thought about it in that way that much until now. That's, like, really striking.
Just in terms of solutions, though, I want to toss out one more. So in Canada, what they've done to kind of limit these, like, the emissions from the private jets and the super yachts, is they've implemented a luxury tax. So what they've done is they've put a 10% luxury tax on all aircrafts and yachts that are being purchased privately. And so that was an attempt to limit the emissions and the exploitations of these like, private modes of transportation that are, like, seemingly unnecessary. And that's their way to combat the emissions there.
Okay.
I like that idea. I think taxing can be very effective. I know, like, in my public health class, I've learned about how, like, there was, like, a potential to have, like, a tax on soda and how effective that can be. And I think I completely agree with you. I think that could be a good tactic in this scenario too.
Exactly. But what happened was over COVID, with the greater wealth disparity, the kind of rich got richer, and there was a 25% increase in yacht sales. So that's what we've seen over the last couple of years.
Nice.
But it's because people didn't want to get COVID, so they wanted to be more private with transportation. But I guess I wanted to transition into our next segment, kind of contributing to the culture that we have now with, like, social media and everything, how fast fashion has kind of, like, exponentiated, especially with social media. I guess it started with clothing retailers like Zara, Forever 21, and H&M making cheap and fashionable clothing to satisfy the needs of young consumers. And the actual definition is cheaply produced and priced garments that copy the latest catwalk styles and get pumped quickly through stores in order to maximize current trends. So I don't know, I've just seen, like, a ruthlessness when it comes to, you know, fashion and stuff like that, and we get so, it's like, it's crazy that we think about it. Like, it starts with being connected with, I guess, our phones too much. And when we are on our phones, we see the content of, like, people, you know, having these fake realities, you know, affording all these nice clothes, having this, like, look, and we're like, oh my gosh, we want that. They seem so perfect, or, like, you know,
Instagram
life. Exactly.
Life is looked through the lens of Instagram.
And so then they get their money by promoting those brands, by promoting those clothing, and then, you know, we want that, and we want it right now because our attention spans and our patience has gone down because of, like, TikTok and everything like that. We want things like this, and so they had to keep up with it.
And kind of speaking on that point, there's a statistic also is that consumers are buying at a 60% higher rate and wearing them for roughly 50% less time.
Yeah.
So they're just flying through these clothes.
Oh no, because have you guys seen, like, on TikTok, it's like, oh, prediction for the spring trends. Like, they literally change.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
It is crazy, and it's so influential. I mean, I don't know, like, I feel like for, like, girls' fashion, it's, like, changing more than guys, in my opinion. I mean, you guys can talk on that.
The fashion,
but,
personally.
yeah, I don't know.
Say, what do you feel any pressure, like, I guess, what's your relationship with, like, fashion and, like, buying clothes, I guess?
Your favorite brands?
I'm a big Nike individual.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also, for my casual stuff, I go to H&M. And I just love the casual,
I'm guilty
feel.
of that.
You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't see it as much as, when I have a sister, and she feels the pressure as well. She feels like things are changing and everything, and I think there's a lot of pressure on her to always keep up with, the modern style or whatever is going on, but yeah, for sure, I definitely see that. And
that's kind of interesting how it's, like, different for genders. Like, do you ever, like, when you're done scrolling on, like, Instagram or TikTok, when you see, like, you probably get a lot of gym guys and stuff like that. Like, do you ever see them promoting a brand or, like, any products or stuff like that, and, like, you immediately, like, look up stuff, or you, like, think about it the next day, like, man, I really want that, he looked really cool in it, or, like, I like his vibe,
It's gotta be for shoes, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. Shoes.
Gotta be for shoes.
I mean, I would. I definitely look at, like, the details and everything, but I'm just very broke right now.
That's really
like, that's what I'm saying. If you weren't broke,
if I wasn't broke, I would definitely do that.
Yeah.
I would definitely have that, idea of, wow, he looks wonderful. I want to look that wonderful.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then try to cop that. Cop that immediately.
But I think that's relatable for everybody. Like, I feel like that's kind of human nature.
Yeah, look at someone on social media, see that, get that little spark of envy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, how do you think that we can kind of educate the consumers that maybe they shouldn't be buying from specific brands, or because maybe the way that they produce clothes is, unethical, stuff like that?
Honestly, it starts with, like, social media promotion and understanding that social media is wired to make you stay on the app and, get you to buy certain things.
It's not for your benefit.
No, it's like, I think it starts with, like, I don't know, being psychologically aware of what social media is trying to do to you.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And then once you're aware of, like, metacognitively aware of what social media is doing to you, then, make an effort to obviously spend less time on social media, but also know, like, the statistics. You know what I mean?
Don't give them the power.
Yeah, all they want you to do is take your time and give you, take your money.
I mean, I'll be scrolling on TikTok and I'll see an ad for a really cool looking sweatshirt, and that sweatshirt is $10.
Yeah. Now you're invested.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a freshman, sophomore in high school, and I bought a $10 sweatshirt.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
and I thought it was really cool, but I wasn't educated on where it came from, like what people had to go through to produce that sweatshirt.
Usually those are from, like, China or, like, fast fashion. We were talking about it earlier. It was in 2013, Bangladesh. 14-story building, or a pretty tall building, collapsed and killed, like, 1,000 some workers and injured 2,000 some workers, and it's like all, like, fast fashion, like, unethical, children, all women, underpaid, just for these Americans to be scrolling on Instagram to buy that $10 sweatshirt. And these people make a living, like, brutally just trying to make it through.
Yeah. And do you ever, you go.
I was going to say, when you are trying to produce these products really quickly, these companies tend to outsource to developing countries, and when they do that, there is not a lot of regulation in, like, their work life and stuff like that, and so that's kind of reflected in the really cheap price that you see on retail, and there's also not there's not a lot of regulation in, like, the work conditions. There's also not a lot of regulation in what they're doing to the environment.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot that's not being seen or they don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of contributing to this whole like dilemma with fast fashion and why there's a lot of controversy around it.
Mm-hmm. I was very amazed by the amount of water it takes.
Oh my
also
god!
Yeah, I didn't
to
know that.
create
water
a
is
shirt.
unbelievable.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was it 700
gallons to make a cotton shirt?
And it's 2,000 gallons.
Like, everybody wears
2,000 gallons of
cotton
water
shirts. Like,
for a pair of jeans.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I don't understand that.
Is it
like me and Eden right now are 4,000 right here.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
What are we doing? Yeah, you're wearing cotton, so you can't be talking.
I'm wearing Lululemon.
Both of you.
I like to advertise Lululemon. They're nice and tight and durable. So.
I feel moving on to our sponsor.
Yeah.
Our sponsor for this episode.
Yeah.
Lululemon.
Well, we don't know what they do. We don't know how they make it, so let's not do that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not even just like excessive usage of water. People don't even consider the plastic microfibers that are dumped into our environment. Like, I found the statistic to be exact, approximately 35% of all microplastics are from these synthetic materials used to create the materials that make polyester, cotton, and polyester consists of plastic and tend to release more carbon emissions than cotton as well. And people don't really wear cotton that much. Like, it's usually most likely polyester.
I think it's more common than you think.
Yeah.
I think it's woven into a lot of like material. Yeah.
But
and even with like plastic, yeah, you go.
No, it's okay.
Sorry. No, but even with like plastic itself, I feel like brands like Shein like really upset me because they have like their own individual plastic bags for each item of clothing.
Well, it's like Kylie Swim. She did the same thing.
Oh, really?
There's, like, individual bags. That's another thing. Like, brands and their packaging, whenever like they ship it to you, like Amazon tries. I mean, I like what Amazon does. Like, when people try to order multiple things, they
put it all in the one box.
Yeah, like you get it less, or like you don't have to pay as much for shipping.
Individual boxes. You get one box with 4
exactly.
items. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But coming back to those microplastics, like those synthetic fibers, they're not biodegradable, so it's really detrimental to the environment. And because consumption has gone up over 400% in the last 20 years, these pollutants and toxic waste have like been severely negatively impacting the environment.
I guess I wanted to go back to you, Leo, about like what you observe. I don't know if you if anything came up in your mind about our generation, or like even just like people at Hopkins, like even like girls, guys, just like the relationship we have with that, and like maybe what's, I guess, influencing us to like have that drive to just always like want to be like on top of the style and stuff like that.
You know, I think it's always been like that. I don't think it's just at Hopkins. I think that, I don't know, humans are driven by, you know, this social hierarchy of wanting to, you know, be popular or whatever. And I thought that would have died in high school, but it's still a thing. You know what I mean? So, damn.
The school is surprisingly a lot.
Right? So it's like, I don't know. I feel like people just want to be so desirable, and they will do anything they can to, you know, wear the best fit possible or have the best hairdo, whatever have you. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I think it's just how it is. You know, I think that, you know, obviously what these companies are doing with the environment's awful. But like I said before, I think the only way to solve it is to make people aware. Will that change? No. Like, people still eat McDonald's, but it's fucking horrible for you. But like, will it change? Probably not. But at least I think the awareness is key. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, still, I mean, if I didn't know how bad McDonald's was for me, I would probably eat it more often. Like,
I would have it every single.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Literally
it's so good, convenient, and stuff like that.
Right.
So it does kind of work.
Right.
But I don't know. I was just like, what can we do? Like, as a generation, because we are going to be the ones influencing all the policies, all of the corporations, even just the way that our generation moves forward. Like,
is that a question for me, or?
Yeah, go ahead. You can start with it.
So like, do you guys know what like the social desirability bias is?
No, hit us.
Was that taught in social psych?
It's all the psychs.
Okay, I might have heard about it, but.
So like, humans are driven to like do what is popular, you know, and basically.
Okay, yeah.
So if like we have like these big influencers that are like preaching, you know, better, you know, changes or adaptations for the environment, right? I think more people are gonna follow. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's what pays. It's what pays these influencers, and like I feel like these environmental brands are like, I don't know, maybe we need another mediator or something to set regulations, or like another person to control, like, you know, who sponsors who, and
yeah, I feel like if we've learned anything from this course, it's that money is controlling.
Oh my god.
Everything about everything. Like,
money
even
over
going
anything.
back to Princess Mononoke, right?
Yeah.
The money of mining the iron was driving
it was insane.
What was that weapon called?
Iron.
No, the weapon.
The weapon, the gun?
Yeah. Like a musket or something?
Yeah, but...
Yeah, money's
driving everything. Money's driving this fast fashion industry. The faster they can get, the more they can get onto the shelves.
Yeah.
With like the trends, the faster they can do it, the more money they're gonna make.
And the more money they get to feed their children with, you know what I mean?
It feels like it's a
and
really...
buy their private jets.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a really steep hurdle.
Yeah.
To overcome.
But like then the people that buy it are trying to mimic those other influencers that they saw, so they're going to go on their social media and flaunt what they have, and then they're going to influence more people like, oh, I want to look like her, and I want to, you know, she looks really cool, and like I like her vibe, and I want to look like that. She seems to get a lot of attention, so I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we can start out small in some ways too when it comes to like bringing awareness or trying to create change. And like I think it's interesting also to like kind of analyze how others around us like in their beliefs towards the environment. I think it's been interesting like living in a dorm this year and seeing people's different lifestyles when it comes to like recycling or like trash and like how they deal with that. I don't know, it's just so interesting to see other people's perspectives and how it like differs. I don't know, how have you felt that like experience with your roommate situation?
My roommate experience has been tough, honestly.
I
mean,
I'm really sorry to hear that.
I love. He's my boy. If you're watching this, I'm not gonna say your name, but
no name.
You're a great child. I think that we're very different individuals. If we're getting down to, you know, what are you talking about, recycling and just
just like for example, like bad habits.
Oh shit! No. Taki mushrooms. What?
No, like I made a comment to my roommate because we wake up at the same time, we get ready at the same time. We have 2 sinks because we're in AMR 3B, and so basically, it like irked me for so long that she would leave the water running when she brushes her teeth.
So painful.
And like one time I was like, hey, why do you leave the water running when you're not using it?
Yeah.
And I was like, she's like, oh, I guess it's just habit. I was like, it's just like really
little
bad.
Changes like
that.
And
then
you can help
ever since she stopped doing it, because I mean I'm there, so I made a comment about it, so that influenced it. And like, you know, she tends to leave the lights on whenever she leaves the room. And so I've said like, hey, can we like start turning off the lights, please?
Yeah. I think there are efforts trying to be made, or efforts being made to try and stop this. Like in the AMR 2 men's bathroom, like there are signs that say like don't leave the lights on when you leave.
Well, in our
but we have to self-dictate that.
Keep the showers short, 2 minutes, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, my roommates love that warm shower. That relaxing warm shower at the end of the day.
For like
my roommate
15 minutes.
One of my roommates takes the longest shower.
Yeah, and I like
she has that music playing. Like everyone's lifestyle is so different when it comes to that.
Dude, I trap in the. Do you guys like freestyle in the shower? I like doing that.
I blast.
No, I dance.
I like Juice WRLD.
I do not play music.
I bring my Alexa in there. I tell her to throw in some Bad Bunny, and then I go crazy.
Some Bad Bunny.
Yeah. He was my #1 artist this year.
Bad Bunny. I don't know if I know any Bad Bunny songs.
You're joking.
You definitely
That's
do.
Awful.
You're under a rock.
That's awful.
I don't listen to Bad Bunny.
Like, I'm trying to think of one that you would know. Like,
I mean, if it was trending on TikTok at some point.
Oh my god!
I
What's
don't
up
even
with you
listen
in
to
TikTok?
it very much at all either, but like I know some.
Okay, I'm gonna pull one up. This is like, this is like so off topic, but like I need to.
We gotta get this song
also, but I was gonna say, I was gonna toss in. I have one of my suite mates uses paper towels for everything. Like it's like face wash, like face drying.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
That's like bad for.
Yeah, doesn't that gonna mess up your skin?
Do you like get her? Do you hold her accountable, or like what's the deal?
I have not held her accountable.
Excuse me, you're an environmental science major. What the heck
are
you doing?
You're gonna get freaking gigantic warts on that.
But I just see it like pile up in the trash can. So
she got ginormous warts on her, like
I'm just her birthday, so you can buy her some hand towels.
Guys, not the point. My point was that like it's just so interesting how people use and like resources differently and aren't like taking consideration.
I think your homework after this is like make a comment about
please, dude.
Because you're not gonna be living with her next year.
True.
Yeah, she's gonna be doing them little towel face washes, like ew.
Yeah.
Speaking of ew. My room constantly smells like fart.
Okay.
Fart and ham.
There we are. There it is.
Very nice.
I just had to say that. That's pretty much it.
Yep.
Thank you. Much appreciated, Leo.
Yeah.
So are you gonna put us on to Bad Bunny, or are we speeding right past that?
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt. Okay.
No.
Well, this one's always at parties. Like every party I go to.
Let's hear it. So our viewers can hear it too.
Yeah, they can hear it.
Oh yeah.
Never heard this song before.
You're under a rock.
I might.
You're the real bot.
I think I might be living under a rock.
Okay, here's another one you might know. This is a popular sound. People use this for montage.
Oh no! It sounds like they're doing like some what is it? Yeah, is it montage?
Yeah.
Oh, like edits. Like they do like person edits.
Why don't you like Lil Baby?
Jordan
Like
edit.
why? What's the reason? What's your rationale for not liking Lil Baby? Just curious.
He's tough.
That's
No,
the
he's not
worst.
offbeat.
That is genuinely the.
I'm sorry.
It's
I know
not
it's a
good.
hot take.
It's bad.
I've never liked that man. The only song I like, what is it? See, I can't even think of it. What is that one song? The album cover is like a statue of a head and a green snake around it.
Drip Too Hard.
Drip Too Hard.
That's the only song.
That was sophomore
That's
year of high
awful.
school.
That's
I like that
You
song.
need to be put on to great Lil Baby.
No, I've tried. Like, I've really tried because, like, all of my friends, my brother, my boyfriend, all of them, like, enjoy Lil Baby.
I don't just
That
enjoy Lil Baby. I adore Lil Baby.
Okay.
Lil Baby speaks to you.
He does.
So maybe he should sponsor, instead of Lulu.
Lil Baby is sponsoring this episode.
Lil Baby.
He'll be our next guest.
He'll be
Yeah.
Lil Baby is our next guest on episode 2.
He's
Please,
doing, like, ASMR
please
right
stay
now.
tuned.
Okay.
All right,
We're going to go on to our
Should we-
next topic.
let's go on to our next topic.
This is,
The
like,
most current.
yeah, all the things we've been talking about is kind of, like, ongoing, but this is, like, a thing
Recent
that
development.
happens.
And I feel kind of ignorant because I didn't know about this until
We put him
Until-
on.
until
Miss-
Eden told me about this.
I
Eden
actually
Havana.
didn't hear it until our teacher told us.
When did she tell us?
Yeah, I don't remember this.
Or like when she like sent out like the art or like something about this.
No.
I know she mentioned it. So, sorry, I'm getting it confused. My other public health teacher told me about
okay, I was
this.
gonna say.
I'm getting myself confused.
Tommy, you seem very passionate, or you seem well versed with this topic. So do you wanna
I can
put Leo on? Give
Leo,
him some.
Come on,
Yeah,
put me
I'll
on.
put you on.
Yeah.
All right, basically. Let me pull out my notes just a second.
Pull your
But
notes.
basically, February 3rd, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
There's a train crash in Ohio. It's a Norfolk Southern train.
Wow.
And this train was carrying a lot of toxic chemicals.
Toxic.
Carcinogenic. Very bad.
Which means cancer
This stuff-
causing.
This stuff is not the stuff you want in the air, right? And so this train crashed, and there was like this very dystopian plume of dark smoke just looming
Let me
over
look
this
up
entire.
a picture and I'll
We-
put it on the video
let's show
too.
them. I think that would be good. Let's show them a picture. Anyway, so this train crashed. All these chemicals go out into the air,
Oh,
and okay, let's.
this
get the
is what
picture
it
on.
looks like.
Oh my god.
Let's show the reader or the
We'll
listenership.
put it on
What
the
a
video.
picture.
We'll put it on the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is literally what it looks like.
But so this plume goes out, right? And people are reporting that they're feeling like migraines. They're getting rashes. People are getting asthma attacks, right? Sore
Like random
throats,
things.
burning
yeah.
eyes. And what happened is that this
Pets are dying.
Yeah,
Their
so-
pets were dying. Like literally.
this is like I think that they said 4,500 aquatic creatures died in like the surrounding lakes.
Hold on.
And
There's
so-
a video of those. Like it's actually crazy.
Yeah, and so basically, the main problem I have with this, I actually wouldn't say the main problem. A problem I have with this is that the Norfolk Southern Train Company was trying to wipe this under, right? They were trying to have no media coverage. They were pressuring media companies to ignore this. They were trying to like pay them off, right? And
This is literally what it like all the surrounding bodies of water, like oil whenever under a car when after it rains.
Oh,
but
yeah.
this was literally like the
So that's-
surface of every single body of water in the surrounding area, which is crazy.
It's sickening. It's really quite sickening. And so what I'm just really I'm struggling to get over is that they were trying to get out of doing any kind of repairs or like conservation efforts because they were trying to sweep this under the rug, and they were trying to avoid the $327 million that they now have to pay in reparations for this event.
It's the money, man.
It's all about the money. It is all about the money. So there are other details that we're going to get into about why this happened. But basically, do you guys have any other thoughts? Anything else to chime in on? If not, I can keep going. I can keep rambling about this. Actually, I do want to mention one thing. Speaking about the money, there is this a strategy that they employed called precision railroading, and that is when they attach a lot of the train cars onto like the train, and it's an effort to save money, because they don't have to run as many trains. Again, going back to the money, this is a dangerous way of like running your railroads, and that was part of the reason why this train derailed.
And it's understaffed. There was like 4 people, or like a very minimal amount of people working and checking like this entire like 150 car train, and so like these workers are overworked, and there were protests after this because they're being blamed for it when they were being overworked, understaffed, like it wasn't fair to them, and everyone, they're just taking shortcuts for the money, saving it, and not paying the workers and like hiring more to take off the workload for those on the front lines, like doing the dirty work. But I was wondering, did you like know about this or at all? No.
That's concerning.
You did not know.
I don't know about that. That's concerning. But the fact that this is not like extremely publicized is a little bit concerning. Because this was a very dystopian event that happened.
Well, but who watches the Snapchat? I get all my news through Snapchat.
Oh. We get media in a very strange way these days.
Okay, but at least I like found it.
No, I know.
I don't have Snapchat anymore.
It's not for you?
Yeah, I was actually looking to text you. That's why I asked for your number today, because I was like, I was trying to text you to ask about the pod. But yeah, is that why you like took away social media?
There's a lot of reasons why I deleted Snapchat. I think it's very superficial.
Yeah.
You know, I genuinely, like I said before, I like having interaction with people face to face. Like I've encountered so many times, like snapping individuals, and then in person they just like. I don't like that. You feel me? But back to what you were saying.
I mean, I don't know. I guess now I feel bad. Like I feel like I should have like.
No, I feel bad
brought
about
it up
as well.
Like, you know, using that for conversations. I think that's another thing. Like. Maybe I don't know how to socialize besides like talking about school and stuff like that. Now being like, hey, did y'all hear about like the news? Because I feel like that's kind of seen as weird. Like,
I completely agree with you.
Kids these days do not talk
like
about the news.
They're like a nerd. Like, ew, why are you talking about this?
Yeah.
Like,
which is ironic because we go to Hopkins, but
yeah, we don't talk about school here.
But like that's the thing. I feel like I should have done my part. Now I feel bad. Like I should have done my part and like talked to my friends about it.
But at the same time, I don't think we should be too hard on ourselves, because this is just kind of like the life we live and the social norm.
But I think that's what we should take away, like getting more immersed in the news, not too much, but like I guess, and if you do find out these things, bring it up in conversations.
I think we need to make a conscious effort on a lot of fronts here to kind of counteract the phones and everything, you know.
I also want to say, I think another reason why this was not very publicized is because East Palestine, Ohio, I mean, I've never heard of the city, but it's actually kind of on the poor, it has a lot of poverty. There's not a lot of, like, high-income families and people that, like, work there. There's not a lot of job opportunities in this area.
Underrepresented.
Yeah, because if this happened in New York City, it'd be all over the news. If this happened,
billionaires with their private jets and their power.
There were in places that are well known, the recognition needed would have happened. No question. We would have all known about it. Would have been on TikTok. Would have been on Snapchat. Would have been on Instagram. Like, we would have heard about this.
Yeah.
But because this was in a low income area, it's not talked about, and this happens a lot more than we probably know. There's probably situations that we're never, ever going to hear about that just kind of go under the radar.
So, Leo, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What do you think should be kind of the consequences for Norfolk Southern here? Like, the consequences both legislatively, you know, for the company. Like, how do you think we can go about, I don't want to say preventing, but kind of preventing a situation like this in the future?
The biggest thing I think one needs to do when stuff like this happens is bring about, like, accountability.
Yeah.
And, like, how do you bring about accountability? You make someone understand, like, the consequences of their actions. I think that, you know, bringing some sort of, like, awareness to the lack of accountability that this city had with this problem. You know, it's kind of sweeping it under the rug, like you said. I think more people need to know about it. You know, like you said, like it's a little city, so bringing it to national attention, getting people, you know, aware of this problem, and then, you know, I don't know. I think this awareness will kind of, you know, make them understand. Oh shoot! Like we messed up. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it feels to me like the only way to like, truly prevent something like this is a mindset shift. It's not going to be any kind of legislation.
Really?
I feel like the legislation.
Legislation for sure.
I feel like I feel like the legislation will definitely help, but unless there's a mindset shift away from prioritizing finances and instead prioritizing the environment, we're not going to make a ton of.
Well, I know.
We live in a world where it's like everything is money over feelings, money over environment. Like, it's just the way it is.
Money
like,
over anything that's actually important.
Cigarettes. Look at, I don't know, anything, any sort of gambling, any sort of instant gratification. It's money over environment. You know what I mean? Money over health. Money over, like, humanizing the environment. It's all dehumanizing because people want money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very true.
I think you're right. It does start with the mindset change, and from that we will, you know, I think
that will bring about the good legislative
but
change.
to have the mindset change, we need to continue growing respect and gaining respect for nature, getting more involved, seeing the changes, like, you know, when we were little, how nature was and felt and looked like for us, and now when we're like 18, 20 years old, and how different it is and how different it feels, and having the younger generations also feel that, so that way we will, you know, vote for and like advocate for representatives that do value that. And we won't give power to the ones that are driven by the finances and the money, because I think legislation is very powerful, and I think that's where the corruption lies as well, because, you know, it's also the EPA and the governments that that don't hold these people accountable. Like, they have the choice to, you know, manage their finances or establish regulations or give them like actual consequences that us regular civilians can't. And if they are also corrupt and money driven, then so I don't know.
It's definitely a tricky subject. Definitely pretty tricky.
I mean, this kind of gets into what we were talking about in ecology today, like learned helplessness. I know you probably talk about it a lot, but like, I think we need to establish like a balance between negative connotation and like so many negative messages about like, oh, we're doomed, like all these carbon emissions, like all these celebrities, you know, it's not in our control, what are we gonna do? And then also too much positivity, like, you know, or too much, I guess, we're gonna do this, we got this, because then, you know, it feels like, you know, other people are just they're not gonna have an incentive or like have the feeling like, oh, I need to participate in this, other people can take care of it, they've got it all under control. So I think we need to figure out a way to like, you know, have a good message.
Meet somewhere in the middle there.
I think it's got to be a good message. It can't be too scary. Do you remember the video that Bill Nye put out?
No.
I love Bill Nye.
You were like an idiot, but you know how he was always like a nice little science guy?
Wait,
he put out the video where he like lit the globe on fire. He was like swearing his mouth away because he was trying to like communicate the urgency of the climate change.
I think
everyone like reposted on their Instagram stories.
Really?
I don't. I think I slightly remember.
Because he's like, we passed like the climate countdown, so now like our world is doomed. I don't know. It was something like that.
I think the most influential video for me that I've ever watched was, and actually got me like interested in environmentalism, was I think his name was like Prince something, but it was on YouTube. I watched it in my environmental science class, and it was like a spoken, like kind of what you were doing a couple weeks ago. It was like spoken poetry about like the environment and climate change. And like I feel like that was such an impactful video because it kind of met our generation in the middle, because like spoken poetry and spoken, I think I'm using the right term, is something that has become increasingly popular, and he used that tactic to get attention and to have a message that people would actually like spend the time to watch.
I mean, it all takes one person. I mean, think about any influential individual in this world that made, you know, change, like Martin Luther King. Like, it took that person that was willing to, you know, compromise his own safety in order to change the universe, change the world for the better. So it takes like, I don't know, people getting out of their comfort zones and kind of going against social norms in order to create change. You know what I mean?
It takes, like, everyone has their different person, so, you know, and you actually are, like, it's a good transition to what I was going to talk about. Like, we're sitting here being all idealistic, but, like, when we leave this room, we're going to still, like, suppress to the social norms of, like, you know, I guess just being normal and, like, cool. Like, I feel like you can't talk about, like, any problems that you have or problems with what's going on, or be passionate about an issue, or be like, guys, we need to change, like.
For sure, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like you can't do that.
You can't do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you're not gonna go chill with your team in the locker room and be like, guys, this environmental problem, like in East Palestine, we need to do something. Like, they're gonna clown you.
I think you should do it.
That's your homework.
That's your homework.
Maybe I will.
I have mine. You have yours.
Maybe I will.
Yeah. And then Leo, you need to go in the library and just talk to people about East Palestine, man.
Use your skills of not being afraid to walk up
Absolutely.
to people and strike up a conversation.
But it's literally inspiring. Like, literally, you have inspired me to, like, get out of my comfort zone, too.
Something I've noticed about you, man, is you have no social fear, man. No social fear, no social anxiety.
I admire
Like,
it, bro.
Yeah, I admire it as well. I think it's,
Dude, you're very good at socializing. What are you talking about?
I think you have a certain social bravery that is you don't see very
It's
often.
like
I would never walk up to somebody.
Yeah.
I agree.
and
It's
talk to them
contagious.
if I did
It
that.
makes me a little bit more confident to go up to someone random.
Dude, you are so socially adequate. Like, I see you all the time. Chill, bro.
It is.
He's
But
so
it-
socially
No,
adequate.
but
I-
it's different.
it's a little bit
With
different,
him,
though.
it's Riz. With
Whoa,
you, it's just
whoa,
like.
whoa, whoa.
He is very flirtatious.
That's what
yeah,
I'm
I get
saying,
you.
and that's
What
what
is it?
that's
What are you
what that's what entices people. But like for you, it's just like your general vibe. Like that's what I'm saying. I feel like I always feel energized whenever I'm with you. Like I feel like I guess not happy, but like you know after you have a good conversation with Leo, you're not like you feel like oh that was good. Like that was refreshing.
It was
like,
refreshing.
Yeah. So that's what I'm
I appreciate
saying.
that. I'm
You
just very
spread your
objective,
energy.
you know what I mean? I make
Yes.
like honestly, I feel like I make people uncomfortable.
There's
You feel
something
me?
so
I
there's something
think-
so satisfying about you just giving the truth.
No,
Yeah.
they're not for everybody, dude. Not everyone
Well,
wants to hear
because
it.
it isn't the social norm.
It
but
scares the
it's-
fuck. I mean,
No, it's
You've
About
already
that.
done it so
It's
many
hard.
times.
okay.
let
Carolina
it fly,
doesn't.
bro. Let it fly.
Yeah.
I feel like it like genuinely scares people. Like when I speak, I mean truths about.
Well,
I
something
feel like
that
there's something
doesn't
really
align with
valuable
the
about
social
that.
norms.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's what I'm saying. I feel
Yeah.
like you, like I said, you can't like disagree with anything. I think, not only like the cancel culture, but it feels like everyone just like
Does what
has
they're
to.
told.
Yeah, everyone has to align with this perfect like political view.
Yep.
This perfect like every view.
Yeah.
And I think it's also honestly this is getting too deep, but like the government trying to like divide us between because it didn't used to be like that, like Republicans and Democrats being
It's all
so
distraction.
So divided, yeah.
that's what I'm saying, total distraction.
They're trying to distract you. I mean, they're trying to make everybody in this world distracted with a bunch of BS.
And fighting against each other, not uniting as a
Because why? They get money from it.
And I really think like the people's desire to like conform with one another,
Oh,
it
yes.
goes right back to like people trying to find the trends, right? And the trends we all see on Instagram. And Instagram's the phones,
You're about to hit it. I don't.
and the phones is a recent development that is kind of I feel like it's damaging our generation a little bit. And I am a very active user of my phone. I'm not saying like I'm high and mighty or anything. Like
Your little.
my
Thank you
my
for
screen
your Apple-
time.
What is
Your
that?
Apple
An iPhone 3S?
Yeah, I
Like,
know. It's
what-
like an Apple Watch
I have
screen.
an iPhone 12 mini, and I
Bro,
get clowned for this
literally,
iPhone
His
12.
hands
out
are
mine.
like giant hands, and it's like little like
This is as big as
Apple
yours.
Watch screen.
You have the
That's
mini
so
too?
tiny.
Let's go, dude.
Oh my gosh! Wait,
Do
like
I
y'all
have a
hold
mini?
your phones up.
My phone's charging. Over
Oh dang! Like literally, no, but like grip
yeah,
it.
yeah. We'll compare.
Like look at Havana.
I feel like okay.
He looks like a giant holding.
Well, mine's
literally.
not that
He's like gripping the phone.
He's literally gripping the phone. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the comparison. This is what I get clowned for on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It is
Anyway.
weird though.
But
Anyway,
going back to it, I don't know. That just like really strikes me. Like I'm very unsettled by the fact that we can't just like leave here and like go talk to our friends about it. Like I don't know. What do we do about it?
I mean, if we had the answers, I feel like.
Okay, but like, come on, we have to like settle.
Well, I have one like slight solution when it comes to like fast fashion, like we were talking about earlier, and I've actually tried to rope Miss Eden into coming with me to go thrifting.
Girl, don't act like I'm harming the environment. I thrift all the time.
Wow.
Like,
I'm a huge fan of thrifting. I'm not gonna lie.
boy, bye.
Bro,
Boy, bye.
I'm with it. You find some sick shoes,
Okay.
some sick fits, some sick
But that
hoodies.
could be one
$3
solution.
from the Goodwill. Come on now.
That's nice.
And are you wearing anything thrifted right now?
I don't think so, sir.
I happen to have none of my thrifted fits on right now.
Well, you
This
should be thrifting
wife beater
that much.
was thrifted.
Actually?
It was.
Congrats,
Absolutely.
bro.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
I am
My
the new
outfit
sponsor
is
of wife
thrifted.
beaters.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Get your wife beaters for
I'm wearing one
$3.99.
too.
Make your body look amazing.
But mine's actually from Shein.
Is
No,
it from Shein? Okay.
What have we been talking about?
That's horrible.
Okay, I got it,
don't
like,
know
my
why you didn't
freshman
contribute
year of
to the
high school.
conversation. That's fine.
No, but okay. But like, people have tried to make thrifting a trend. Have you seen that? on
It
social
is a
media?
trend. It
That's
is a
what I'm
trend.
saying.
I would
It's a
say
trend.
that it is a successful trend that combats like fast fashion today.
Yeah,
I would say it is.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
but like,
There's a certain
Stella
like,
really
reusability.
inspires me. Like, we have
Stella
a friend
does really
who like
inspire me.
everything she wears every single day is thrifted.
I mean,
Like,
pretty much
every
me
sing-
too.
And like, you would never
same.
guess it. Like, you
You're
would
so
never guess it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I was all, like, literally, your jewelry's thrifted. Everything's
It
thrifted.
is.
Like,
Is it thrifted?
It's from an antique store.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have so many antique stores in my area. That's crazy. That I
I know.
Can you
that.
thrift like jewelry?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like, that's what I'm saying. And like, you can find like real gold and silver.
it
and
is
stuff
real.
like that.
Yeah.
I just got my cartilages.
Oh.
Oh,
They're
that's
very
cool, man.
nice.
Yeah, they're
Wait,
cool.
that's crazy. When did you get those?
Somebody is filming.
I know I think it's one of my friends.
Ah.
Yeah, well, I posted up for that
Rosie.
picture too.
Yeah.
So.
Damn it! I didn't get my freaking.
Your lat spread going.
Yeah.
You got the silhouette. Don't worry.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think we could end it on like a concluding note here. I did want to mention one thing. I brought this up in one of my essays, but I feel like when I was younger, I used to like wake up in the morning. It was like a summer day, and you'd hear the chirping birds.
The best sounds.
You'd hear the lawnmower go, and you
The
walk
lawnmower.
outside. You
Smell
smell
of
the
the
fresh
grass.
color. And I feel like I don't really hear the chirping birds in the morning anymore.
Why?
I don't
Maybe
know.
you're going deaf because I still hear it.
I don't hear them. I'll go back home. I'll go back to my childhood room. I'll walk outside. I'll wake up and I won't hear. I won't hear him.
Baltimore.
No. I'm saying back home. Like,
Even back home, you know
Where
what?
do you
back
live?
home. Back home, like I'm not as conscious of it. I feel like.
Oh,
Okay, that's
okay.
fair.
So like I used to be like really conscious. To wake up to the chirping birds. Like wow, this is cool. You know, summer day.
That
and
is literally the best feeling.
I'm like, there's
actually.
no stress. You walk outside.
Yeah.
You know, dad's out there, shoveling some dirt or something.
Yeah.
Pulling
Some
weeds.
dirt.
Mom's
Pulling
pulling
weeds.
weeds.
Yeah,
and
you
stuff.
know, you're just outside. You
Brother
have
getting
breakfast
yelled at.
outside. Like, I feel like we don't. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because we're getting older now, but like
But, like,
we have to
that's the
find a way to
thing.
get back to that.
That's
That's
the
like my
thing.
biggest
I
thing.
feel like the younger generations don't get that gratification from nature. Like, they don't go out in
No,
the
they wake up and they
morning.
go on Clash of Clans first
Yeah,
thing.
what
Yeah.
the hell is that?
I don't know.
It's
No,
ridiculous.
but that's the thing.
Throw that phone out the window.
No, my
Exactly.
We
sister
should be
wakes
so
up
grateful.
and goes straight to her iPad.
It's
Straight
unbelievable.
to her
It's-
iPad.
You need to get her straight.
Dog,
like,
I'm
what is
Get her
this?
right, bro. Get her right.
Sit her
Okay.
down. Sit her.
How
Look her in
old
the
is she?
eye.
She's 10.
Look her in the eye and be like, "You're ruining yourself."
But how?
No,
okay,
because then my parents are gonna yell at me. They allow it.
is there not neighborhood friends for her?
No, because she wouldn't know.
Okay, so I
You wouldn't know.
I sat my boy down. I don't have a child, but
No, but I'm saying I have a
My
I
homeboy.
have a weird relationship with
I sat my
sister.
homeboy down. He was overweight. He was eating too much chips.
This is your
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah,
Oh God.
he was
Aw.
eating too many chips. His haircut was clapped. I sat him
Wait,
down.
that's such like a British term, clapped. Like
No.
only
That's
the
it.
sidemen say that.
Chicago
That's so
No,
funny.
we hear that all the time.
Really?
We use that.
That's the only time.
Damn,
the only
that
time I
shit's
hear it
so
on
clapped.
sidemen.
Yeah, I sat him down. I was like, "Bro, like, what are you doing? You got love handles, like,
Oh,
Your
Leo.
haircut's collapsed.
yeah, like." I mean, he
How
got
old
to.
was he? How old? Was
Older
he?
than me.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
Yes.
Oh.
I thought he was younger
That's such
than
an
you.
interesting dynamic.
Well, and I think that's more impactful when your younger sibling does that.
You don't understand, but like, I'm significantly, like, I'm larger than him significantly. So like, I bitch him around.
Yeah.
Wait,
So he
really?
listens to me. Yeah,
Like
he
he's
does.
short?
he's short. He's like fatter, but
Yeah.
Ah,
I mean,
alright.
I guess there's something to be said about, if you see something, you want to help someone out.
Hold them accountable.
You should
if
take
you
them on
love
a nature
someone,
walk.
Accountability is a big thing.
But
if you hold,
y'all saying this, but I know dang well if you're sitting in the locker room and one of your baseball boys does something that's not environmentally conscious or like litters, you're not gonna be like, bro, what are you doing? Like, get your stuff together. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna get the clown, right? Exactly. So make this change.
Make the change. We will all keep you accountable.
I think we all have our homework cut out for us.
Yes, Leo, your homework is to take your brother out on a walk.
Go shopping with your brother.
No, and go to the
Shopping.
library and talk about
several walks.
Talk about
You
it.
go play with your sister.
And go
take her outside and show her nature. Try again.
What's your homework?
What did somebody assign me homework?
No, you had homework at one point.
Yeah, you had homework. Okay, go to your sorority and
put everyone
talk
on.
about
Oh, she had that roommate with
Okay,
the
yeah,
toilet.
I'll take people on out thrifting.
Alpha Phi sorority is not going to be part
Yes.
of thrifting. That's Savannah's homework. My homework is to
and just talk about
to my
more
boys.
conscious habits.
Oh, that's what it was. I'm gonna tell my sweet mate to not use paper towels
Yeah,
so
you're gonna
much.
put on
That's
alcohol.
crazy.
I know it's unbelievable.
Ian, you have your homework squared away.
Thrifting and taking my
Thrifting.
sister
I
out.
will make sure she goes.
And you're going to go take your brother on a walk and
Yeah.
tell him how much you love him, bro.
I love my
Hug
I
him.
love my brother. I
but
want
he
to
also
hold him
has
tenderly.
to go to the library and like spark up these, or when you're with
Just
your friends, spark
create
up these
deep
conversations. You know, be like, yo, I was on a podcast and I learned about the East Palestine oil spill. Did you know about that?
Yes. Oil spill. Derailments.
Like it was
Yeah,
like
same
chemical
idea.
spill. My fault. But yeah.
Alright.
Thank you guys for having me on this. I really
Thank
appreciate
you for
it, guys.
coming.
This
You
was
were
so
such an amazing
exciting.
guest.
Leo Anderson.
D. Leo Anderson.
Appreciate having
Amazing
you.
first episode with Leo.
I think this was a great episode, and there's many more episodes to come. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Pandora, iHeartRadio.
Vine,
We're on everything.
Twitch, MySpace,
TikTok,
Instagram.
Instagram,
Or
Snapchat.
follow us on the podcast.
All caps, all
At
caps.
the podcast. And,
I agree.
Yeah, we'll see you next episode.
Thank you so much.
Also, proceeds are going to not Lululemon. Who did we decide?
Oh, the biodegradable butt wipes.
Yes, thank you.
What?
Yes.
Honest biodegradable
Thank
butt
you,
wipes.
thank you, Honest.
But
Thank
what?
you, Honest.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honest, for sponsoring this video. We
That's
appreciate-
crazy.
And make sure you stay tuned for episode 2 where Lil Baby will be talking to us about some stuff. And it's
Yeah.
going to be good.
Thanks.
Alright.
Peace.
Bye.